So one of the ways that we commonly encounter dominant chords is in the blues. In fact, unless you're in a minor key, your 1 chord, your 4 chord, and your 5 chord are typically dominant chords. So I've got 3 must-know dominant blues chord patterns to share with you, and they're all really kind of based on the same sort of premise. But the thing with the dominant chords, you got 1, major 3, 5, and dominant or minor 7. You could call it minor 7, dominant 7, either way, same thing. So those tones, and I'm talking in G7, a G dominant chord. Each one of these patterns that I'm going to show you starts out with the same sort of lead-in lick. It's root to the 3, but we're going to do like a blues note pickup into the 3. So the 3 is a major third. We'll do a minor third pickup into the 3, followed by the 5, to the 6, to the 7. Now, one of our patterns will have a slightly different target, but we're going to start out with that particular pattern. So remember that, because we're going to use that basis for the next for these 3 patterns. So pattern number 1, just like we started with, followed by 6, 5, with the minor third pickup into the 3 again. That minor third is picking up into the major third, is really a blues sort of note. In fact, you can almost make it sound like one note if you want to. And then to the root. So all of pattern number 1. And you hear how that minor third has really that blues sound, but the whole dominant chord, and you can use this on the 1 chord, you can transpose it to the 4 chord, use it on the 4 chord, you can transpose it to the 5 chord, you can use the entire pattern, or you can use little increments of it. Pattern number 2 starts out similarly. Now, rather than targeting the 7, let's target the 8. So we're doing 1 to the blues pickup to the 3rd, 5, 6, 8. Now, a lot of times in the blues sorts of sounds, we'll have the chromatic passing tone, and this works great on dominant chords, blues or not, but the 8 chromatic down to the 7. So we got the G to the F sharp to the F, down to the 3rd, and then back up to that 6 that we previously used, followed by a chromatic passing tone to the 5. So the whole lick. And you can even blues time it a little bit if you want to. And it works beautifully on all the dominant chords in the blues. Now, pattern number 3 starts out with our same little lead in. 1, minor 3 picking up into the 3rd, to the 5, to the 6, to the 7, again like we did in pattern number 1. Now we're going to drop to the 5, 4, to the minor third as a pickup into the 3rd. That blues sound again. And now to the 1, chromatically down to the 7. So we just dropped rather than the 8 chromatically down to the 7, we're going 1 chromatically down to the 7. The whole lick. Now, I know I started them all out the same with that triplet pickup, but I love getting folks to use these triplets. And in fact, this whole little pickup can be played in advance of a chord. So, this can be played as an anticipation with your target note arriving at the onset of your chord, And there's the beginning of the chord. These licks can all be broken up into bits and pieces. I mean, we can bust them up in all kinds of different ways. So I think those would be great for you to take individually or collectively, practicing them around all 12 keys and practice playing them with the blues. Now, I'm Randy Hunter beginningsax.com is my website. I've got lots of jazz improv lessons, and one series you might be particularly interested in if you want to learn more about the blues. And I do have a number of blues lessons, but I've got a series called Basics of the Blues on the Jazz Improv Lessons page of beginningsax.com. Subscribe to all of my lessons at randyhunterjazz.vhx.tv.